so I decided to take this opportunity to do a morning tea talk with you guys. I thought I would do an introduction to what alpha-gal is. For those that don't know, alpha-gal is a tick-borne disease that makes you allergic to the sugar molecule in mammal meats. Now, there is a huge misconception of it's red meat only. That's what you see in the media the most. The whole marketing of pork being the other white meat really took hold because a lot of people have forgotten what a mammal is. If it is a meat that comes from something that nurses us young, gives live birth, it's off limits. Now, there is a variety of us who have different ranges in allergic reactions. Some it's just gastric, some it's clear to anaphylaxis, which is me. For a long time, it was just lots of inflammation built up in my body, causing major weight gain and joint pain, and it was debilitating. I was developing high blood pressure. I had blood sugars off the charts. So I changed over to paleo. When I started eating a lot more red meat, things got worse. I started breaking out in hives. So I dropped the red meat. I would go to doctors, I'd get blood work. No one could figure out what was wrong. So I just knocked it down to eating pork, chicken, and fish only, getting rid of all nightshades that are inflammatory, and I did good for a really long time. But after I had my daughter, it got to the point that the pork put me into anaphylaxis. After multiple visits to the local urgent care, I decided to find a new primary care physician, and when I visited with him, he said, I think we need to send you on for allergy testing because this adult onset of asthma is just not normal. So I went to the allergist. He tested me for a bunch of things, and a friend of mine suggested, why don't you get a tick panel done? Sure enough, alpha-gal came back positive. Now, rather than pick up the phone and let me know this, he sent me a letter 2 weeks later. It said, stop eating red meat. Needless to say, I changed allergist. Now, the problem with alpha-gal, it is so much more than the foods. It is our hair products. It is our body washes. It is our laundry detergents. It's our over-the-counter medication. I have to go on Vegan Med to find out if I can use certain eye drops or if I can take certain allergy medications. I take children's liquid Genexa because it is like Benadryl, but it's a clean form that doesn't have mammal byproducts in it. Most of my grocery hauls will include some dairy because that is what my children are eating. My husband and I, we can't do it. Some with alpha-gal can still do dairy. Being a sugar molecule, it really clings to fats, so the dairy with less fat in it sometimes doesn't affect people, but it's really Russian roulette. My advice to anyone who is newly diagnosed with alpha-gal, be sure you find a primary care physician that listens. A lot of physicians do not understand it because it is so new, and they will blow it off. If one doesn't listen, find another until one does. Find an allergist that understands. Join support groups online for sure, because that was my biggest help in the beginning. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll answer and guide you to the best of my ability. Thank you for coming along with me today.